season.
And we've been talking about it for a couple days now. The winter weather is on the way.
Another sign of the season. Yes, to talk about our first snow of the year. And yes, buckle up because it is going to be heading our way pretty quickly, ready or not. By the time we get up on Monday, most of us will have some flakes flying and possibly some snow already accumulating depending on how things set up. We got a trio of weather impact alerts for the first part of the week here. Sunday, we are going to watch for mostly rain and some stronger winds that develop, especially later on in the day. Temperatures are something we're going to watch closely on Sunday. As the system moves in, we'll have temperatures in the 40s, and those will be falling during the second part of the day. So we'll drop into the 30s. One of the questions for Sunday is exactly when, like how quickly that changeover can happen, and how quickly we can get that snow to start falling and possibly sticking eventually, especially as we go through the overnight. The wet snow that initially develops late Sunday will transition to more lake effect focused snow by Sunday night and into Monday in particular. Snow will be likely along with some pretty blustery winds that could definitely mean some low visibility, especially for travel. Some of that at least will linger into Tuesday, but then we do see some improvement heading our way by later in the day on Tuesday, and then fairly quiet conditions taking over for the rest of the week. Monday in particular, and then again early Tuesday, the time frame that we're really going to watch the most. Lake effect snow will be likely. There could be some very heavy bands that set up depending on how our wind direction plays out. So that could mean some very high snowfall rates of 1 to 2 inches per hour. So it could be really coming down combined with the wind. That could mean for some very low visibility. So plan on extra time, especially for those morning, evening commutes and any driving you have to do through the day. We could have some very quickly changing conditions as well, particularly if you're driving in any of those areas that are prone to those lake effect snow bands to set up. With that being said, we do have winter storm watches that are in effect, mostly for some of those lake effect prone counties. That's where we have the potential to have some higher accumulations where those heavier bands set up. That watch for us is going until Tuesday morning at this point. One thing to notice with some of these winter alerts that you see here around the Great Lakes, they're all focused on lake effect areas. So the lake effect areas are really going to be the ones where we have that potential to have some higher totals. It's not going to be the case for everyone, but some of those lake effect areas in particular could get some higher totals by the time all is said and done on Tuesday. Right now, system's still off to our west. We've got an area of low pressure, rain transitioning to snow, and this is pulling down some colder air with it. So this is going to be working on continuing to head our way. Rain is in western Ohio right now. So initially, this is going to be some good rain that will be heading our way through the overnight hours. So we'll pick up that National Design hour by hour forecast. Rain will be taking over as we go through tonight and into tomorrow. As we go through Sunday, rain will be with us. Some pockets of heavier rain could be possible, maybe even a rumble of thunder or two. So it's going to be a very soggy and damp Sunday. Notice temperatures in the 40s here. As I mentioned, winds are going to kick up later in the day, and we are going to get colder air that is moving in. Question is how quickly that temperature drops and how quickly we get that changeover from rain to snow. That's likely to happen during the evening hours. As that colder air arrives, we lose any daylight. That's going to be a combination that's going to allow for some more of that pretty wet snow to develop. And then we get a transition to more lake effect as we head into Monday. If you were watching earlier at 6, we saw this an older version of the same model. It didn't have a lot going on Monday morning. Said that was probably pretty unlikely. This model's coming in way more aggressive for Monday morning in terms of that lake effect potential and some of those heavier bands setting up. Temperatures are just going to be in the 30s on Monday. It's going to be the coldest day we've had so far this season, along with some stronger winds gusting over 25 miles per hour. So all of that could make for a very messy morning commute. And through the day on Monday, we're going to keep at least that potential for some lake effect in the forecast through the day. So that could be laying down some additional accumulations through the day on Monday where those heavier bands do persist. Again, snowfall forecast changing drastically model to model run. Here's the big thing to note. Not everyone is going to get accumulations with this. There will be some areas that see very little in the way of accumulation. And really, we're looking at areas where we have higher elevations and where those bands persist that we could actually get some decent accumulations by the time all is said and done on Tuesday. There's going to be a very wide range in what you see depending on how those winds set up and if you catch one of those bands or not. So just keep that in mind as we go through the next few days here. Union Home Mortgage forecast. Again, we've got a trio of weather impact alerts Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, and then things looking a little warmer, a little quieter as we go through the rest of the week.